Welcome to Hydrasynth. I'm Glen Darcey, Director of Product Development for Ashun Sound Machines, or ASM for short. This new synth is the brainchild of myself, Product Manager Dominic Au, and Director of Engineering Chenji Jun. We set out to make a synth that has a massively deep and flexible sound engine and unique performance controls like polyphonic aftertouch and a 4-octave ribbon controller. To cover all that this synth can do would take your typical 6-part Peter Jackson saga, and I'm not going to put you through that. In this video, I'm basically just going to cover all the main aspects, and in the future, I'll have more in-depth tutorials that really dig in deep. Fair warning, this video is going to be a talking video. If you want to hear sound examples, go to ashunsoundmachines.com, check out the sound examples we have there, or better yet, go find a dealer that has one, try one out yourself. The Hydrasynth comes in both keyboard and desktop rack configurations. The keyboard version comes with our own PolyTouch keybed. You get true polyphonic aftertouch and a standard keybed. The nuance you get playing a polyphonic aftertouch keybed takes on a much more organic and natural quality. We're very proud to be bringing this technology back into the marketplace. The ribbon has multiple modes of operation, allowing it to work as a pitch bender, as a modulation source, and in its unique theremin mode, where it will actually trigger the gates on the envelopes. When we started the design of the Hydrasynth desktop, we wanted to be able to have the flexibility of using it in a traditional rack mount or as a desktop unit. We didn't like that most other desktop units don't have a way to play them directly. To even adjust a sound and be able to hear it, you have to connect a keyboard, use your DAW to send notes to it. We put 24 RGB backlit polyphonic aftertouch pads on it. The pads have multiple pad modes, as well as multiple scales that you can choose from. The rack ears are not something you have to buy later on. They come in the box with the desktop unit. Both units can be used together with our voice overflow mode. This allows you to get 16 voices of playback. The Hydrasynth has a total of 5 banks of 128 patches. Patches can be easily moved and organized via our Patch Manager application. The application's free, just download it from our webpage. It runs in standalone as well as VST and AU formats. Our browser allows you to navigate through your patches. You can find them by number, by patch name, and also by the category. You can also assign patches as favorites for fast access in a live situation. Just enter favorite mode, and then press a button, and you're going to load up your sound. The Hydrasynth has a 3-oscillator engine based on digital oscillators that have over 200 single-cycle waveforms. You can use the oscillators in single mode by themselves or in our wave scan mode. This allows you to create Prophet VS or PPG style sounds that morph from one wave to another. The mutators allow for multiple sound processes that greatly expand your synthesis capabilities. These allow for linear FM synthesis with multiple modulation sources. Our wave stack mode creates a thick 5-oscillator detuned sound. Sync mode allows for hard sync sounds. The architecture of the mutator allows you to not have to eat up one of your oscillators to create this sound, however. Of course, you can choose other oscillator sources to sync to. Harmonic sweep mode allows you to sweep across the harmonics of the incoming sounds. Our 3 pulse width modulation modes allow you to create pulse width mod effects on any wave in the oscillators. You get your standard pulse width mod, our unique wave squeeze mode, and our very unique ASM mode that divides the wave into 8 portions and allows you to set how much pulse width mod is on each section. Other sound sources are the ring modulator with selectable inputs and the noise generator with white, pink, and brown noise. All these sound sources are fed into the mixer that then feeds into 2 filters. These filters can be configured in series or in parallel. Filter 1 has models based on the profiles of 11 different filters, including our unique vowel filter that allows you to change the orders of the vowels. Filter 2 is a continuously variable SEM style 12 dB per octave filter. The filters then feed into an amplifier and then into the pre-effects, the delay, reverb, and post effects. The pre and post effects have all your standard chorus, flanger, rotary, phaser, lo-fi, tremolo, EQ, and compressor types of effects. You can hear a filter typical sweep without effects, and then with the effects. Having a great sound engine is meaningless if you don't have interesting ways to control all the parameters. The Hydrasynth has a huge number of modulation options. You've got 5 6-stage envelope generators that have BPM sync capability as well as looping. You've got 5 LFOs with 10 waveforms, including a step sequencer mode. So that's like having 5 step sequencers built in. Of course, we've got the polyphonic aftertouch keybed, we've got pitch bend mod wheels, we've got multiple modes of the ribbon controller, we have an expression and sustain pedal inputs. There's also CV modulation inputs. These can handle from DC voltage to audio range. You also have the ability to assign any MIDI CC from an external source into the Hydrasynth. Another control you have are the macros. You have 8 macros, knobs, and buttons. These macros can control up to 8 different destinations in and of themselves. Our modulation matrix has 32 modulation slots that allow you to route any of the 28 modulation sources to almost every parameter within the engine. Even other mod matrix points can be a modulation destination within the matrix. All of your modulation sources can also be sent externally to the CV outputs or to MIDI CCs, making this a great master controller. The arpeggiator on the Hydrasynth is a great way to create musical effects. We place many of the controls on the front panel so you have direct access and you can play them in real time. These are not all the controls, however. By pressing Shift plus Edit, you open up a whole lot more controls into the arpeggiator. Almost all of these controls are also modulation destinations. So you could be changing your modes via an LFO or using the ribbon to change your gate time. Maybe you want to change the time division via a looping envelope. The ARP becomes its own musical instrument in itself. With the synth engine this deep, most synths become difficult to use, requiring multiple pages and lots of menu diving. We've designed the user interface to be quick and easy to navigate. There's also a number of operation shortcuts that make navigation even faster. Our CV gate section allows for you to connect to the modular world, allowing the Hydrasynth to control and be controlled by other gear. The Hydrasynth also has all the standard MIDI DIN and USB MIDI connections as well. This video just barely touches on all the features of this synth. Look for more videos where I'll dive into each section in depth, as well as videos that show some of the tricks, tips, and ideas on how to implement some of the features. Chin, Dominic, myself, and the rest of the team are really proud of these synths. We hope you'll check them out and that they'll inspire you in your music making. Cheers.